got that bass line going.
The horn again. That's what I'm talking about.
Nah. We'll get that out.
We're getting straight funky up in this joint, bro.
Yes,
straight funky.
It too.
Yeah, that was kind of funky.
2-5 for the 25 Cast of the Pod podcast back in effect. It's been almost a month.
Yeah.
We're trying to bring one out right now. Talking about werewolves today. Cobweb, how you doing in this new 2025?
Man, I am trying to keep that same energy from 2024. That positive energy and trying to keep it still going, man. I'm not going to allow things to deter the course that I've had in my life and the decisions that I've made and which way I want to go. I'm going to keep blazing through, and good things will come.
There you go. I see you moved your recording area around. We can see your LPs in the background now.
Yeah, thank you. I finally got that done.
We did a little bit of rearranging over here. Deb, you still over here? You still on the pod?
I'm still here.
She's further off to the side now.
Yeah, he's almost kicking me out of the building.
We need to set up her recording space.
Oh,
she's 50% of the process over there. We need to set up her recording space so we can have 3 individual windows here.
It's quite possible. It's quite possible we could do that.
I'm just saying.
And this is the first time. Yeah, this is the first time. I just realized this is the first time that they get to see the background with the album complete, the wall complete.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it took a little bit of time. That was hard. That was hard. And they're all alphabetized.
I worked.
We'll pull letters later.
I worked at it wasn't Sam Goody, was it, Deborah? No, it was Musicland. What was Musicland?
Oh, I worked at Musicland too.
I worked at Musicland in the early 90s. And yeah, I remember alphabetizing cassette tapes. Only had one little bin of CDs. But yeah, alphabetizing, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Takes a long time. It's not as bad though. I mean, it didn't take that long. But you know what? You know what? It could have been worse.
What's that?
That we still haven't hit this intro, and we're going to keep on going. How much longer is this going to get bad until we hit this damn intro?
We've only said werewolves one time.
But you know what? Werewolves. There you go.
Warning. This podcast is about the horror genre, specifically horror films. As most horror movies are filled with coarse language, violence and/or gore, the topics and language of the cast of the pod will also reflect the genre. If you have any issues with the aforementioned warnings, please press stop. However, if you have no issue with adult language, movie violence, or the accoutrement that accompanies horror films, please feel free to continue. You have been warned.
CastOfThePod.com. You can go to all our social medias at CastOfThePod. You can hit up Cobweb directly at, let me get this out of the way. Hold on. Cobweb 411. Close this shit down over here and go back. There we go. Now we're talking.
Heck yeah. We talking about werewolves tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Werewolves.
You didn't let me say the number. You didn't let me say the number. You can call the hotline 786-763-2278. That's like 786 podcast.
Call somebody. Somebody please call that number. Call interact with me.
763-2278. Like I said, Deb's over here. She's off on the side.
I'm right here.
We put Deb in the corner till we get her recording space set up. So we
put the Deb in a corner.
We are talking about a movie that came out last year. Do I have that? Oh yeah. Got that shit muted. There you go. Last year. talking about Werewolves, the Frank Grillo movie. You ready to talk about this?
Bruh, first, I just want to get this clear straight up. Who picked this movie?
You. Yep.
Why you gotta be bringing up old shit, Deb?
That was your choice of the new year. Of the 2025.
Werewolves 2024, rated R, 1 hour 33 minutes. 2 scientists try to stop a mutation that turns people into werewolves after being touched by the supermoon the year before. Directed by Stephen C. Miller, writer Matthew Kennedy, stars Frank Grillo, Katrina Law, and Ilfenesh Hadera. Yeah. Also James Michael Cummings, Camden Gary, Lydia Striegler, Daniel Fernandez, James Kyson, Bezada Layden, and most importantly of all, Dr. Aranda, Lou Diamond Phillips. Richie!
Oh, shit. Oh, snap.
You didn't realize it was Richie, bro?
Nope. Bro. It didn't hit me till just now.
That was the first song I learned how to play on guitar, La Bamba.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. You know what the first song I learned how to play on guitar was?
What was that?
I don't know, because I haven't learned one yet.
Well, you can play the Stone Cold intro. Just scrape the guitar down, just and then on the first fret, dun 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 dun. Open, first up. It's you can do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll figure that out.
Okay.
Pick up like I need a new hobby. But so, tonight we're talking about werewolves.
Yes.
Werewolves.
Yes. Okay. There's a special reason, and when we get into Spoilerville, I'll talk about why we have the.
Oh, that's new.
Yes, but are we gonna do like how we did before, Deb? What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll talk about the movie. Oh, we didn't talk about what the peoples said about it.
Yeah, what the people give it, and then we could do the IMDb.
The peoples didn't give it a damn thing.
Really?
It's the same exact storyline and everything like that. And the keywords are werewolf, werewolf horror, small town, super move, and government scientist. Rated R for violence, some gore, and language.
Yeah.
And there's only 3 did you knows, and they're not worth anything to say. Other than the director wanted to use real wolves for certain action sequence, but it was deemed too costly for the studio. Okay, so let's talk about this real quick. We're in our non-spoiler area of Cast of the Pod, the podcast, and who wants to go into it first? Y'all want me to do it? What are we doing? I'll go into it. Oh, what did y'all think about the look of the movie? How did it look? The filming. Cobb?
It was filmed. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't bad. It is what it is. It almost got to the level of B-level stuff, but the special effects, sometimes when they wanted to do something really tripped out with special effects, they did it. That was clear. Some of the wolf scenes or fight scenes or something like that were pretty intense, and they showed some pretty good gore with that, and it looked pretty good, but
I agree. The movie was filmed great. It was crisp, it was clear, there were good colors with the lighting in the background and all that. There's some CGI, it looked like, for the werewolves, but it majority of it, 95% of it, looked like it was practical effects. with the werewolves, and the werewolves look great. There were a couple of them that had like weird bent snouts, but that was something we learned in this movie, that there are different types of wolves with different looks and everything like that. And a couple of transformations that I saw looked all right. So I mean, that was great to me. They picked a great looking cast. And after that, I want to go into our rating already, because I personally can't discuss this movie more without spoiling it. What do you think?
Oh, you know, he always has to spoil it too, Deb. You know how it is. So we need to go and get this going.
I mean, Cobweb, at Cobweb 411, since you've got that info, do you have anything else you'd like to throw in?
Yeah. I mean, I can give you it. Well, you know what? I could give you my rating if you want to pull out the sitting. Hit the button, man. Hit the.
You want the
call it in?
No, not that one. I got to bring the Dooms back. Doom. Wait. Dun, 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 dun. Where is?
See, Deb, he's biting at the bit on this one, Deb. Can you tell? He wants to get in on this one, and I know you do too, Deb. You've got a lot to say. I can already tell.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the beginning of the pod where we bring out the motherfucking calculator of doom, un calculador de doom, where we discuss the ratings of the movies, 0 being the worst, 10 being the best. And anybody want to go first? Anybody want to go last? Anybody want to call that?
I'll go last.
Okay, Deb will go last.
All right, I can go first since I picked it.
All right, sounds good to me.
Yeah. I was kind of like, I was really looking forward to this movie. Because I thought like, oh, it's a good werewolf movie. We don't get too many of those every now and then.
True.
I thought that for it to be a movie, characters have to do stupid shit that you wouldn't do.
Non-spoilery,
but that's what they have to do. And that's some things that really kind of tick me off about this movie, because I'd be like, I wouldn't do that. That's not what I would do. You know, but I've been learning in my these years that not everybody thinks like me. So here we go. I'm gonna give this movie a 7.
A 7? Damn.
I'm giving it a 7. There was a lot of stuff I did not like about it, but there were a lot of stuff that I did like about it. I thought it was a really good concept, you know, about what they wanted to do and stuff like that. But sometimes they kind of like fell flat, like they were running out of budget, you know, because they had a pretty good story, but I give it a 7.
Cobweb being nice in the 2025.
I told you it's a new Cobweb.
So fresh and so clean. Now
what's that?
I, on the other hand, I gotta call the police on this shit.
Why you gotta call on this motherfucker, Josh? Why you gotta call on it?
I'm giving this movie a 5.0. That's why I'm a 5.0. That's what.
What was wrong with this movie?
We'll get into it in the spoilers.
All right.
I mean, there was so many things. The first part of this movie was amazing. The first part when they're breaking everything down and Richie's explaining how badass of a scientist he is and all that, and what happened last year and what they're gonna do and why all this is happening. And then it's like boom, 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 boom. Let's see how it plays out. Boom. And I'm giving it a 5 because I am going to give it another chance sooner or later, maybe, possibly, sometime before the end of 2025 to watch it again. But yeah. Deb?
Okay.
So.
Uh-oh.
With me, it's going to be completely different. At first, I wanted to give this movie a 2.
Oh, shit.
But only because I plan to watch it one more time because this movie put me to sleep.
knocked her the fuck out.
Out.
I was really looking forward to this movie because werewolves and vampires are my favorite type of horror.
She's got a werewolf. She's got a wolf tattooed all up on her arm and all this ass shit.
So I was really looking forward to it, and the beginning of the movie, I was just like, okay, it seemed kind of it was interesting, but cheesy, kind of interesting. More of my favorite type of horror. And every time, and it started off good, and then I fell asleep. I tried to wake up. Josh was trying to wake me up. I'd wake up for a little bit and go back to see this movie. It just didn't grab me.
Oh man, was it?
And I'm gonna blame it on
the rain.
I've been feeling under the weather, so I'm gonna blame it on that. And I want to give it another chance, so I'm gonna give it a 5, only because we say 5. You're gonna watch it at least one more time. But I at first came in with saying I was gonna give it a 2. But
whoa. So that's pretty cool. So what we got?
Oh, I quit even calculating everything.
You had a 5.6.
5 divided by the square root of the particle accelerator, and 5.6.
Oh wow, I did that in my head.
That means it rounds up to a 6 for us. We can give this movie a 6. All the rest of the world gave it a 4.5. Rarely do we ever agree with the rest of the world.
We never do. Wait. Okay. Hit that. I had a question for you. I got a question for you, Josh. And you could probably explain this to me about this movie that I'm confused about.
All right. Hit the what?
Well, why? What was that? The new tune that you have now? It was a spoiler tune, because this might go to a spoiler.
Oh, you talking about the purge sound effect?
Yeah.
Because this movie basically, as Lou Diamond Phillips is explaining about, it even has captions across the beginning of the screen. Last year, during the supermoon, millions of people transformed into werewolves for one night and one night only. This year, as people prepare for the season of the wolf, blah, 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 blah. Right?
Motherfuckers here.
And then it cuts to Richie, and I'm sorry, Mr. Diamond Phillips. I gotta call you Richie. You're always gonna be, you're stuck as Richie. That's a good thing to be stuck as.
Yeah,
Richie. But anyways, I mean, look at the lady that played Yolanda Saldivar. Anyways, as Lou Diamond Phillips acted his ass off. I'm like, when did this scientist start looking like Lou Diamond Phillips? Like, he looked like a real scientist. He was speaking like a real scientist.
He didn't even know until that was him until we started this show.
That's how into character Lou Diamond Phillips was, and the saving grace of this film. And Frank Grillo's in here, and Frank Grillo,
the purge.
Frank Grillo is built like a brick shit house, just jacked. As old as he's probably my age, if not older, just jacked in this movie. Vascular veins over veins, and he's great in all the stuff that he does. He's in Creature Commandos, which we haven't recorded yet because each episode's kind of short, so we're just gonna watch all of them and then talk about that. That's when we do the Creature Commandos breakdown. He plays Flag Senior in Creature Commandos. In this movie, I don't know if it's just me, but it looks like he got his eyes done or something, because his eyes are kind of like,
dude, come on, bro.
He's all jacked, veins over veins and muscle striations over muscle striations, and then we find out he's a molecular biologist,
bro.
He's a molecular biologist that's just jacked and did special forces stuff in Malaysia.
What a dumb ass motherfucker.
I know Green Berets.
Why the fuck? You gotta explain this to me. I don't understand how, if you know that your brother's wife and child
Becky
are
with the
going to
good
be
hair.
left alone on the blood super moon.
No.
Night.
No.
Why would you leave them alone with one shotgun with a potential of running out of shells?
Look.
Wait. Explain to me. Why would you leave? Why did he leave? What was so important that he had to leave that motherfucker?
I want to explain something. I know some Navy SEALs. I know some Green Berets and one Army Ranger, right? And they are all badasses. Badasses that have done badass things and just extreme badasses. And none of them are as vascular and as jacked as this molecular biologist. Doctor, what was the fuck was his name?
What was his name? His dumbass motherfucking name? I hated his motherfucking ass. He was stupid and he couldn't drive for shit. Okay? Why the fuck was he driving a goddamn... Wait, she wasn't even on a video call. Why are you staring at a fucking screen on the phone?
They didn't even put his
his
name. They didn't even put his last name on the fucking IMDb. That's how much they didn't care. He's just Wesley.
The fuck?
Yeah. Dr. Wesley. Fuck? And then Amy, Katrina Law, he's like, when's the last time you handled one of those? And it's just a handgun. It's a little handgun. It's like, we're on the west side over here. When's the last time you handled one of those? About 3 hours ago.
Deborah. Wait.
No. And she's like, since the last time we were in Malaysia. And she's a molecular lunologist, some kind of lunal pathologist, studier of something, some shit, whatever.
It looked like she just came off a runway.
Yeah.
Wait, Deborah, explain this to me.
Keep in mind, she didn't see the whole movie.
Oh, that's right. She fell asleep.
Yep.
She fell asleep.
Okay.
And also, when you said this gives a purge feeling, they even said when they were doing the news thing that there was going to be no help for the night. Like if you were on your own.
They did. Yeah, they did.
That's exactly the purge.
Okay.
That was the point. Y'all, we're going over. That's why I wanted to bring out the. So after Lou Diamond does his Lou Diamond stuff, right?
And looking into the camera
And all that. Then they show Frank Grillo, who's out there nail gunning sheets of plywood.
What the fuck?
But no, all this stuff was great. Everything he was doing was great. At the beginning of the movie, he's setting up, he's getting ready, and they're explaining that what's going on, and he's putting up all this fencing, and then he's putting up the electrical fence, which, by the way, I've done this setup for wrestling. Many years ago, we had an electrified fence match.
Get the fuck out of here. Stop.
Right? And so we used real large animal electric fence around one of the ropes with the positive and the negative. And then we lifting the curtain from here, connected a battery charger, a big rollout battery charger to the actual cage. So we electrified the ropes and then we electrified the cage. And what you do is you have it on and then you touch that just to spark it, just like how he did.
Yeah.
Right? Then you secretly turn it off and then you put it on the cage. Right? That's what you do. But we legitimately had one of the ropes electrified for real. That way when the wrestlers touch it, blah, man, it was enough for like large dogs. It hurt.
See.
Anyway, so going back to that, he's doing that, putting the nails through the plywood and all that, and he's putting the electrified fence, and he bzz, 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 and then he connects it onto the fence, right? And then he's setting up all these cameras, and it just looks like he's a ex-military guy that's preparing for the werewolf invasion that's happening at midnight, and there will be no assistance from anybody. You're on your own at midnight, and it's basically martial law once the curfew goes into play. So he's setting up his household, and he's got barrels that have the capsaicin pepper spray, and it says it sprayed out there. It says capsaicin pepper spray ingredient on the barrels.
He had everything set up. He was perfect.
And he had
the sprinkler systems with that stuff on there
connected to it directly and all that. Then they had the nice little controls to control the cameras and everything, flip switches to turn on the pepper spray. So he looked like a special forces type person that was getting ready, right? So he does all this, and then here's the gray-haired conspiracy theory video watching guy next door that's also an ex-Marine. He's like, Captain, and he's back there shooting everything in the, and see, I hate when they overdo characters in movies.
No, let me tell you something. This is what I don't understand. Somebody explain this to me. If you know that the moonlight from the supermoon, if you come in contact with you would turn into a werewolf. No. Okay, you would turn into a werewolf. Now explain to me these people and their preparations for getting clear of this moonlight, this killer. What was he thinking? Why was this? All I had was my guns. He didn't board up none of his fucking windows. He didn't do none of that shit. Okay, they had fucking blinds up. They closed the blinds. Okay, to stop the moonlight from coming in. What the fuck? And the sheets. What the fuck was up with the sheets?
Hold on. You're going too far. You're thinking too far into it. So we're establishing the character of the next door neighbor who's back there with his assault rifle, shooting at targets, shooting at metal, plinking targets, and shooting gallons of water. Right?
What the dumb fuck.
And he's like, I'm getting ready for the night. So he's supposed to be ex-special forces and all that. Ex-special forces don't go through boxes and boxes of ammunition in their backyard. Now, keep in mind, this whole werewolf situation, to anybody who's watching it right now, pod people, shout out to Club 3P while we're at it. But pod people, there was one event a year ago, and they weren't able to test it, but they're assuming it was because of the super moon. So this year, even though they don't know what's going to happen again, they're waiting for the super moon. That way they can get the blood of an not infected, but a transformed person to test the blood during the super moon, and also to test out moon screen, not sunscreen, moon screen.
How corny is that?
Somebody in the movie even says, I don't like the name of it. Why do we call it moon screen?
What? Fucking moon screen.
So this is the type of this movie is bad. It's just straight up bad. And I love bad movies.
It is not bad, Josh.
It is not bad. I'm about to explain what I'm trying to say. This movie is really good, really bad. And it doesn't realize which one it wants to be. And a bad movie will just accept its bad moviness and be bad. You know what I mean? And this movie, all you had to do, right? They're looking for the cure for werewolfism and everything like that. All you got to do is put on scuba gear with a pair of sunglasses. Technically, that's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Cover your body so the moonlight doesn't touch you. Or here's a novel idea: stay in your fucking house.
Oh, here's a really good one. How about this? How about we build a real bunker that we don't have to worry about it? Go underground. I would just dig up a motherfucking safe hole. I would tear up my backyard, plywood that motherfucker up, lock it in deep, lock the door, cellar, call it a day.
But that's to protect you from everybody else. That's what you're saying, right?
Right. And the fools didn't. they didn't seem like they were ready at all. There was a lot of people that didn't seem like they were just like ready. It's not like they didn't know this was coming.
In a bad movie, stupid things happen that allow the wolves to. So they're in the Dallas Cowboy fucking stadium where the roof opens up and shit like that, right? They're not really in the Dallas Cowboy stadium, but you can get what I'm talking about with the retractable roofs and all that. And they've got volunteer werewolves, volunteer people to be exposed to the light after they get sprayed by the moon screen, right?
Right.
And this movie is so bad that after you watch a movie, you're like, hey, what if the people that got sprayed by the moon screen just happened to like pull their like the girls were wearing bras and the guys were, and they had tops and bottoms on,
right?
But then they were practically nude, you know. And it's like, what if they accidentally like moved and like some of their skin touched whatever? In this movie, it says it because somebody's like, well, what if some smartass decides to moon the moon after we've sprayed him with moon spray? And then Lou Diamond Phillips is like, well, the chemical pierces through the microfibers of the underclothing.
Why?
Then why they almost butt naked?
Dude, why? Okay. The moon screen. The moon screen is one thing. Explain to me this. When you're going to go fight werewolves, okay? You're going to go fight werewolves. How many guns do you think that you would take with you?
One 9mm, apparently. one 9mm handgun. Each.
That's the only thing they took with them to go on a rescue mission through a city crawling with werewolves. Because this is a lot of things. A lot of people see this is the thing where it was like the Purge too. A lot of those people that turned into werewolves, they wanted to do it again. They liked it.
Yep.
They liked it. And that was one of the big things. They really did like doing it. And then these were probably the smartest werewolves I have ever seen in my freaking life.
Which we don't learn until like halfway through seeing the werewolves. Not halfway through the movie, but halfway through seeing the werewolves, that they still retain their personalities and they can think and they can go like, hey, we can't get into the house to get to Becky with the good hair. So let's go over here and knock the phone pole over to hit the electric fence so we can climb over the electric fence. And then the electric fence that's connected to one rolling battery charger, as soon as they take out the electric fence, takes out the whole grid.
They were fucking genius wolves. These motherfuckers was like some, I don't know what the fuck they was, dude. It was, they looked so cheesy. But why?
Wesley's family. After he booby trapped the whole house, I like the idea of having the plywood with the long nails sticking through that. Just do your whole front yard. Do your whole front yard like that with the nails sticking up.
Oh, dude, bear traps all goddamn day.
The bear traps took out one of the werewolves. You know, he did have bear traps. Man, he came out just flexing, dragging those two bear traps behind him, pecs out, arms flexing, just shaking so the veins will pop out of his forearms as he's dragging the.
And I'd had them doggone bear traps dipped in battery acid.
Before he went to his molecular biology lab.
Why did he leave?
Because that's when they were going to do the live experiments.
So what? Tape it. I'll watch the rerun. I'll watch the copy.
He leaves them with one shotgun, one pump action shotgun, with one box of ammunition.
That's it. That's what he leaves her with.
And then she's like, I am a badass. I am a protector. I will take care of my home.
At first she was breaking down. Remember, she was breaking down on him in the car. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. Oh no, what am I gonna do? You gotta be. Why did you leave us?
This is one of those films where you don't care about any of the characters. And they put them in situations where if you cared about these characters, you'd be like, oh man, tension. Oh, and then he spends all that time with Dr. Amy and they're going across the town and all that. And they're like, as soon as we get to that tunnel, we can go through the tunnels and make it all the way there. Then they get to the tunnels, right?
Yep.
And they're like, we're in the tunnels for 4 seconds. And then they're already out back into town in a corner store.
Wait.
In a bodega.
Wait. What that scene? That scene when they had to be real quiet in front of the werewolves. Remember? They was trying to be really super quiet or something like that. And then old girl just sits up there and say, you know, what did she ask them? You think they heard us? Some stupid shit. There was so many stupid things in this movie that didn't make any sense.
Before they get to the tunnels, right? They run into some good old boy vigilantes.
Oh, them.
That have a Bronco with a minigun. Minigun up on top, right? Which, I mean, in Texas, yeah,
it's possible. But they were doing the Lord's work.
There's maybe 2 on this block. Right now.
They were doing the good work of the Lord out there.
I just thought about that, yeah.
That's neither here nor there. You know, fell off my boat while I was fishing. Anyways, but and then there's guys with tactical weapons and everything like that, and they're moving in whatever. And so she sees him and she's like, what are we gonna do? He's like, they're gonna take us to my family. And right after they're like, all right, cease fire, and then no werewolves or anything like that, they pop out, hey guys, like they're not gonna take. And here's the thing,
they fucked up their whole shit.
We didn't explain what happened in the lab. So the moon mist, the moon screen quits working after an hour, and then everybody starts turning into werewolves, right?
Yep.
And then they're like, spray him with the moon screen. And he goes to spray him. He's got this big, like with this mic, like something connected to it with the spray, right? And he goes up to the wolf and he's trying to get close. If you're going to have to spray it, start spraying before you get there. It's connected all these big hoses and barrels and shit.
Bruh.
The wolf grabs it, transforms, and it takes the time that the fucking Power Rangers take to transform. So they could have shot him or killed him or tranked him or something like that. And then he spins it, throws it. And then it just hits one like rafter type thing. Everything starts falling all over the place. They can't close.
Everything blows up.
Werewolves break out, right? Then all of a sudden Lou Diamond Phillips falls over and his little fat roll on the side falls out the side of his biosuit, because the velcro on his biosuit, let me repeat that, the velcro on his biosuit lets the top part of his, and the moonlight just hits a little bit of his little fat roll. Not that Richie has a fat roll or anything like that, but if it was
God,
it'd be my whole lonch that fell out there. And then he's like, I'm transforming. And he starts transforming into a wolf, right? And then he gets Daniel Fernandez, Evan, just slashes him across the chest. Whack, and he's like, I can't breathe. Well, here's
he
the
fucked
thing.
His ass up.
Here's the thing, though. His suit's all ripped open. And he's bleeding out and all that. Why didn't he transform?
Bro, I didn't understand that. I didn't understand that either. And here's something I didn't understand. Okay, look, I know that I think about things a little bit different than some people, but if I was designing a werewolf containment field like that,
yes,
and I had to have them have chemical on it that I would be testing, I would have like a shower set up in the tank that when you hit it, it would just automatically just spray down everybody with the chemical. And then if it didn't work out, if they start getting crazy, you hit another button that would just drop acid on them and kill everybody in the cage.
Kind of like a halon fire retardant system.
Right. There was a lot of shit you could have fucking did that these people did, and they're supposed to be scientists, that didn't make any fucking sense. Okay,
You know where
they had no backup plan to get out of that motherfucker. What kind of safety precautions did they have in that damn place? I mean, like, if they starts left field, what do you do? I don't know. Let's just get out of here and run.
All they needed to do is call up Lonnie George Johnson, the inventor of the Super Soaker. All they needed was that 1999, year 2001 badass Super Soaker with the one you put somebody's eye out with it. So much pressure came out of it after 3 just pumps.
They had a bazooka water soaker.
They just needed a couple of those. Shout out to Lonnie Johnson. You don't get the credit that you deserve, sir. Look him up, Lonnie Johnson. They just needed some of those. And that's how all the werewolves got out. And that's when we find out that in Malaysia or wherever the fuck him and what's her name were at. So him and her have you find out they've known each other for years and blah 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 blah. And then they escape past the good old boys, right?
They fucked the good old boys shit up. They fucked the good old boys shit up. They were having a good time until they came over there and fucked up their play.
And the good old boys covered up completely, wearing purge masks and everything up like that, right? They had the welder's goggles in front of their eyes and all that, just tearing up all these wild werewolves. Doing good service, by the way, for the people of generic town, USA that they're in, right? And here they come out, hold on. And the good old boys see them and they're like, their hands in their face and their eyes are showing. What are you doing out here? And they're like, we have moon spray that nobody's ever heard of. But since we're telling you we have moon spray, don't shoot us.
Oh my God.
And then the one guy's like, they got wood. And then all of a sudden, werewolf just grabs him, rips his face mask off, starts tearing into him. And then because Wesley and Amy distracted them, they broke the perimeter, all this shit, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So as they're running on foot from these werewolves, right?
Jeez.
They see a flashing light. And they start running into this like car lot, parking lot. And the gate's coming down. And they slide underneath. And then here's this kid that has a cloak and a cape, and he's got little Dr. Evil welding glasses over his eyes.
Dude, what the fuck is up with that kid?
He's like, ba weep, grana weep, ninny bomb.
Right, what the fuck was him?
Looking like the children of Mad Max, the road
Somebody
warrior.
just let him get dressed the way he wanted to that morning for the movie.
Exactly. This spoiled ass kid where they're just like, just throw some shit on him, whatever. And here's the thing. They were living in a regular world that 1 year ago, for 8 hours, people turned into werewolves. And up until about apparently 12 hours ago, nobody gave a fuck about it or thought about it, because that's when everybody started preparing 12 hours before the next supermoon.
Right. This is what I don't understand either.
And here's this kid wearing Mad Max clothes in a flea market or a cheap like mall area. And then what does Dr. Amy say? What is this? Where are we? And then Wesley says, we're in the market. It was the fucking mall. It still had the shutters how you close the store down at the end of the night. You know what I mean? It was still a mall. There was still a sunglasses hut and a Sabiro and all that there.
Why? Explain. No, stop.
And then she's like, what happened? And no, wait. And then here comes this other guy with the sword and puts a sword on her neck. And then here comes fucking Raver guy with his little NO2 mask over in front of his face. He's like, what are you people doing here? And she's like, we need to get to the tunnels. He's like, I'll get you to the tunnels. And then you're on your own from there.
Okay.
Like this whole civilization.
The concept of time made no sense.
Exactly.
Why did he go out there in any way to fight that guy as a wolf when they just had to wait a little bit longer
we hadn't even got there yet.
Why did they do? I don't understand. I don't understand why they did that. I don't understand. Neighbor. I don't understand how these werewolves.
It gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse.
There's a lot of worse involved in this movie that I just don't understand. That I'm over here writing down notes, trying to comprehend this stuff, and as you going through it, Josh, I'm remembering more shit that was fucked up.
So the next door gun crazy neighbor who just left his windows unboarded and all that, right? The wolves come into his house, break the window. He becomes a wolf as he's wearing his red, white, and blue stripe across his face and his wolf killer body armor that says wolf killer in red, white, and blue. Later on, he transforms. So there's the wolf with the red, white, and blue. I'm sorry, blue, white, and red on his face with the wolf killer body armor.
What did he? Why would he think that those bullets was going to stop Moonlight? Why did he think that the bullets was going to stop the Moonlight?
All you have to do is wear a scuba suit and sunglasses. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, it's like nobody really got prepared for this. They knew it was coming. And what did they do? They didn't do shit about it till like the last day or a couple of days about it. There was people out there wasn't even prepared for this shit. Like they just thought that it was just like playtime at Shelley's and shit. Who the fuck is Shelley?
But right when they get to the tunnel, they're like, do you think we're going to run into anybody else? And then as soon as that happens, here comes some lone wolf, literally lone wolf, just slowly coming down, holding down the roof. You remember that? Like you just see his feet come into frame, like, and he's just,
dude.
So right after they get out of the tunnels, right? We didn't even talk about the part that you were talking about him being a bad driver. So after they escape the lab, he's talking to his sister-in-law on the phone, who now is losing her shit, even though she was a badass. Then now she's losing her shit. Then she becomes a badass again later on. And as he's talking to her on the phone, he's driving, running away at a high rate of speed, right? Looking down at the phone as he's talking to her, and drives into a city bus. Now, here's my question. Why was there a city bus running its route hours after werewolf curfew?
I just thought about that. Who's driving a city bus with windows at that point time of the night? In the middle of this, who's doing that? Who would be doing that? That made no sense at all. Why would he be looking at the phone like he's talking to her, like she's on video phone?
Like he needs to see what she's doing. Like he's explaining, cut the green wire. Let me see what you're doing.
It's not. Right. It's just got her name on the screen.
Right.
And he's looking at her.
He's like this.
Right. Why isn't he looking at the road?
Pretending like he's in Fast and the Furious 2.
Why were these people sitting right close to the windows?
Why? Here's another thing. Why do they build up everything for Amy, right? And then there's a scene where they're like, we don't know what to do with Amy no more. So Werewolf grabs her by the head, lifts her, takes her off the screen, and Wesley goes, and then that's it. He doesn't get sad. He doesn't scream. He doesn't just shoot random or anything like that. He literally goes.
He can't shoot his gun. How many times did he shoot that gun in this movie?
What about the scene?
How many times did he fire that? Wait, Josh. Right. He had this gun this entire time. He had this gun and she had her gun too. And they were out there fighting werewolves. And they never fired a single bullet.
She did. That's what I was going to say. When they were in the tunnels, right? right when they put on their flak jackets and all their extra ammunition magazines and everything like that with their one 9mm, each one of them that had the two 9mm, right? And he's like, when's the last time you handled that? She's like, Malaysia. And then they go around the corner and there's the wolf, and he goes like he's gonna pick up his gun, and she pushes him. Boom! She pushes him against the wall. Boom! And then she takes a shot. Pat, pat, pat.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Those are the last shots fired.
Deb's falling asleep right now. She's going to sleep.
Oh, because of the movie.
Because of the fucking movie. You're right, Deb. You alive?
Yeah, I'm here.
We need to go to the doctor or anything? You good?
I'm good.
All right.
There's so much about this movie.
Frank gets okay. So here's another thing. So
there's more. Wait. I gotta breathe for a second because I need to ask. Can I change my score?
Sure.
Wait, we already put it on the IMDb.
I already put it on the MDib, but
Oh shit!
And now you're thinking about it, right? Now you want to give it a 10?
No. No, I want to give it less than that because the more I keep thinking about this movie, it's very close to the science lines of our favorite Shark Side of the Moon.
Shark Side of the Moon at least knew it was bad.
Shark Side of the Moon didn't put me to sleep.
I will give Shark Side of the Moon more credit than this movie. We should have rated this movie less than that movie. But so they cut back to sister-in-law, right? Who we find out through newspaper clippings that all these first responders died fighting the werewolves. His brother, her husband, the firefighter, died fighting the werewolves. As apparently millions of first responders around the country died fighting the werewolves.
Dude.
But so we cut back to Lucy. That's a sister-in-law, and she kicks open her own door. Boom! Goes to another room. Goes to another room. Right? Where the fuck did these werewolves come from?
Who the fuck was she shooting at?
But I'm saying, where are these wolves that she's shooting? Because next thing you know, later on in the movie, when Cody, that's Red, White, and Blue Boy, tries to break into the house, right? He has to break into the house. Where did these other wolves come? Did they magically teleport into there?
They weren't there.
She wasn't shooting out the window or anything like that. She's shooting werewolves in the house. But the super smart werewolf has a hard time. And then this was another scene. As she was prepping, after Wesley had already set up all the traps and all that, she's going around pushing on the walls, making sure the walls are stable. She pushes on the brick wall. She's like, "Oh, that's solid." As soon as she did that, I told Deborah, I said, "Somebody's coming through that brick wall." And I turned to look at Deborah. I was like, "What do you think?" She's like,
"This is." He only left her with one box of shells.
So we get to, she runs out of ammunition. Frank gets there. Wesley gets there, right? He runs Cody, Red, White, and Blue Boy into the wall, bam, with the truck that he stole from the good old boys, right? And then
Oh, that truck scene. Why would he leave it in neutral after he hit him?
After he hit him. Why didn't he back up, hit him again, back up, hit him again, back up, hit him again?
He didn't. He just left it. He literally hit him with the truck, and then he put the truck in neutral and got out. Because that wolf literally just pushed it out of the way. I mean, if it was in park, he wouldn't have been able to push it, and the truck would have rolled.
The emergency brake.
Right. It would have rolled. It wouldn't have rolled away like that. He put the truck in neutral so the wolf could push it away.
Yes. But so he's like, "Where's your ammunition?" She's like, "I'm all out." He's like, "What'd you use it for?" And then he's like, this is where you don't care about the character, but they're trying to make you care about the character. As soon as the truck moves 2 houses down, she says, "He's still alive." How did she know he hit him with the truck? The wolves all took out the security cameras. You literally see the wolves go, hey, look, there's a motherfucking camera over there. And the other wolf's like, that is a motherfucking camera. And then the wolf's like, yeah, let's go get that. And then you see the wolf like walk up to the camera, reach up, grab the fucking lens, take the camera out, and then you see a wolf at the other one, and that wolf's like, there it is. And he grabs that one. There's like 6 different cameras. You see the wolves each take out the cameras.
So there's not even possible.
There is no fucking way that she knows that Wesley hit Red, White, and Blue Boy 2 houses down. And as soon as he pushes the car away, she's like, he's still alive. And so what does Frank do? He's like, here, takes off his watch. That watch is in tune with the solar dynamics of the whatever, and it will go off in 15 minutes. And that's when sunrise is.
So why didn't they just wait?
Inside the house. That's all they had to do. Right?
That's all they had to do. Just wait inside the house.
Don't do it. No. And he's like, I've got to protect our family.
If you wanted to protect, there it is again, them dumbass motherfuckers. Just like in the movie, Don't Speak. If you want to protect your family, then you sucker for stayed your ass at home. Just like, oh, dude, if he wanted to save his family, he should have kept on driving. He should have stayed his ass at home.
Don't Speak. Remember how you cosplaying Don't Speak? The other day, Deborah wanted to watch it. I'm getting choked up.
No, it put you to sleep. This one.
Anyways, back to this movie. So he goes out there and he's like, Cody, I never liked you. And like, now, that was another thing.
Wait, Josh.
When he got to the house, it was raining. So the rain was washing off his moon screen as it was. But he got in the house, everything was all right. Then he walks back outside, and then they're showing that it's still raining. So now the moon screen doesn't work. And now that he's facing off with Cody, now he turns into a wolf. And he walks up to Cody, is like, "Rrr," hugs Cody, rips his head off. Finish him. Sub-Zero style.
Yeah, he was doing kung fu. There were wolves doing kung fu in this movie.
Yes.
Kung fu wolves, ladies and gentlemen. This is like some Hong Kong Fooey shit. You know what I'm saying? Hong Kong Fooey.
Baddest motherfucker anywhere. Hong Kong Fooey fights crime in his underwear.
That's what we had here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We had Hong Kong Fooey werewolves.
And then, even though all these werewolves remember, like Cody remembered that he had a crush on Lucy, and he wanted to go over there and get him a little something. So, stop that. Hold on. Where's the button? Fucking, where's the rewind shit? What happens after all the good old boys get killed? And Amy's like, they're starting a kill circle. I'm going to distract them. You get to the gun. And he's like, what? She's like, I have a plan. It's going to work. Deb, I know you didn't see this.
I know.
So she comes out. She's like, hey, wolves, I'm over here. And here comes the new badass super wolf that's wearing a punk rock vest with all his different patches on it. He's got his nose pierced. He's got his snout pierced. He's got a red mohawk and everything like that. And he's all,
how did he get dressed like that? What was he? How did that happen?
The guy was wearing before he turned into a werewolf. That's why. It was a punk rocker guy.
He knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to do. He wanted to live the best werewolf life he could.
There's all these werewolves circling her, right? For the kill circle that she was just talking about. And the one werewolf is there, right? And she's standing there looking at him. And he fucking Donald fucking punches her in her fucking cooch. Instead of grab him by the, you know. She's looking at him like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And he punches her right in the fucking cooch. I mean, I know they try to make it look like he punched her in the belly, but because of the way the arms are, he punched her low. Right? And then she looks at him and she goes, ah! And then he howls at her. roar, and then she yells it to show that she's the alpha.
Oh God.
What's wrong, Deborah? What's wrong?
I didn't even watch this movie, and it's making me mad.
He grabbed her by the faloof. You know, it just.
It was bad, Deborah. Deborah, it was really bad.
She's this badass alpha that just later on, the fucking hand literally grabs her by the head and she's like, oh, just takes her off the screen. Like it was a comedy thing. Like literally like, boom, 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 and then her eyes are just like, blink, blink, blink. Just takes her off the screen.
I did wake up on a part where one of the wolves, like they bit the back of the lady.
And the next door neighbor.
And
then
yeah. I woke up and that was like the first thing that I saw, and I was like, oh, I don't need to stay awake because I'm missing. And then the wolf grabbed the girl and put her against the fence, the electric fence, and she just had her head.
Don't
right
whiz
there.
on the electric fence.
Yeah, because that was that little girl. It
was the next door neighbor, and it wasn't that she was a little girl. She was probably like 25, but she showed up in her little plaid schoolgirl dress and all that.
Why didn't she just stay there with them?
Brought cookies and whatever. But then
was that one?
It was
that was her.
It was that one. Mm-hmm. But then, so she's out there. It got my mom. Help me! Right? And how is she protected from the fucking moon? She's got a child's fleece blanket over her, and that's it. That's it. That's
used it too.
Protecting her.
That
they
was
used
like
it too.
A military sized blanket.
Military grade fleece blanket.
Right. They used this. Both of them, the scientists used it too. They found that, you know, if you don't have whatever you use, that, you know, just a plain old, you know, blanket can protect you from the moon, this super moon. How is this possible, ladies and gentlemen? What science is this?
After Red, White, and Blue Cody gets killed, right? Blue, White, and Red Cody gets killed, right? Now, all of a sudden, Frank Grillo, Wesley, comes back, and he huffs. And oh my God! At the beginning of the movie, Emma, the little girl with the curly blonde hair, right? She's like, how are we going to be safe? Tell me again how we're safe. And he goes, oh, you remember the story of Little Red, of the three little wolves? She's like, yes. How were they safe then?
Oh.
Because they were in a brick house. He's like, exactly. How your house is a brick house. That's how you're safe. So how does he fucking come in at the end of the movie? Right, they're in a regular house, regular homestead domicile neighborhood house, right? And there's one brick wall, and he pushes, he huffs, and he puffs, and he fucking breaks the brick wall down.
Useless.
He doesn't go through the giant hole that Blue, White, and Red Cody just came through, or anything like that. He breaks the one brick wall to get
the whole house, dude.
And she sees the one shotgun shell, puts it in the shotgun, right? She's like, don't do this. Remember us. You love us. She grabs a picture of her husband. Remember your brother. Remember the Alamo, or some shit like that. And then she falls down on the ground. He gets on top of her, right?
Yeah.
And he's wearing his dog tags with the. Here's the thing: when they transformed into wolves, when they had the humans earlier, they had these little skinny ass people, right, with these big fucking collars on their necks and all that. And when they transformed, then those collars were tight on them.
Right.
So here's his fucking dog tags hanging loose by like a foot as a werewolf, which means they had to be hanging down to his balls when he was wearing them as a human.
Dude, Josh, you're looking too much into this. This movie, you're looking. There is so much bad about this movie that you're missing the good part.
The one good part, which was Lou Diamond Phillips.
Oh, that's what happens when a movie is this bad that you have to keep searching and searching and searching, and it just takes you in all the way into the middle, and then you just realize there's nothing there.
So
Yeah.
right, so it's at the scene. He's already drooling over her, right? And he's either gonna try to mate with her or he's gonna fucking eat her, right? And she's there with the
either way.
shotgun, laying on the ground, and then the watch, right? Which means now it's sunrise. What does she do? Shoots the board, one fucking board on the side of the house. And the sunlight comes in instantly.
Worse than Vamp.
We're talking about a 1/10 of a second. No,
That
like
sun was up.
or nothing like that. Bright noonday sun.
At 6 o'clock in the morning.
Instantly, here's shirtless Frank Grillo flexing like this, dare not breathing. And he's like, hurry up and shoot this fucking scene so I can get some water in my body.
How is that even possible? How is that even possible to work like that? It makes no sense.
Biologist, world-renowned scientist that has time to fucking up his protein and hit the gym 3 times a day.
Oh my God. I don't know what to say. I need to change my score.
Well, hold on. Let me. Doom. I gave it a 5. Deborah, what did you give it?
A 5.
Deborah gave it a 5. Cobweb, what are you giving it?
4.
A 4.
I can't. I
Gives
can't.
it a 4.6, which means we give the movie a 5. Let me change our rating.
Yeah, we went from 5.6 to a 5.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You guys
5.
know I never really asked that for that thing, but the more and more, because I watched this movie like last week.
We watched it like 20 minutes before this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's fresh in your mind. And the more you guys keep thinking about this stuff, you keep saying stuff. I remember I was like, that was really fucked up. Why did they do it like that? That made no sense.
Excuse me.
What? They were. I don't.
I
This
think we're
movie
done.
was bad, bro.
I think we're done. I think we're done. We shouldn't worry about it.
It's done. It's done. Let's just. You know what? This is how I feel about it.
Not the frying bacon. Deb's all choked up. We're still both sick, man. And then there's all this flu, phlegm stuff, whatever, is making my other bullshit go fucking stupid. So that's why it's been 3.5 weeks since we recorded. It wasn't because Blood In, Blood Out took it all out of us, but speaking of which, we have another non-horror movie coming up. You wanted to celebrate the 40th anniversary of what?
Beat Street Breakdown. Rock.
So yeah, Cobweb found a bootleg on YouTube, so we're gonna send that link out too, so everybody can watch it. For those of y'all that hadn't seen it 40 years ago.
Deborah, have you seen Beat Street?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the special edition DVD release. That was like the 30-year release or the 25-year release or something like that. And then we have the Breaking collection, and yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep.
But yeah, this is gonna be on.
Yep.
Let's do this, baby.
Fuck. I think we're done.
We are done, man. This is an episode, bro.
I need to find out what's going on with Deb over here as she's falling asleep again.
All right, you guys check on Deb. It's been a great week. I'll take us out of here, ladies and gentlemen. This has been another episode of Cast of the Pod.
Who?
Starring myself, Cobweb, the greatest man alive.
Bye.
Josh, Mr. 33.4, and the Debs. Letting you know that we're here for you at Cast of the Pod, and we love you all. Come on back. You've been warned.
He's drinking the juice over there.
Why did you say come on back and then you've been warned? That's like a come back. We already warned you.
Deborah, so you wake up for this?
Yep. Now I'm awake.
All right, y'all. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for spending your ears listening to this. We were talking about the 2024 movie Werewolves, starring Frank Grillo. And yeah.
If you want my honest opinion, don't watch it. It'll put you to sleep.
So much. Hey, he's so much better in Creature Commandos, and he's going to be in the DC movies and all that stuff like that. So yeah, don't let this hold you back from seeing his other stuff. Did I say that out loud? Oops.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Until next time, Cobweb signed us out again. Peace.
Bye, everybody.
See you guys. Catch you in the funny papers.